Yeah, I'm Nigel Malone, and I've been back in Charlotte for about 3.5 years, but man, Charlotte is changing. Even after a year, my one-bedroom apartment on the north side went from $1,200 a month to $1,600 a month. That's crazy, so I gotta get a house of my own. Until then, I'm at my grandmother's crib, yeah. But living with my grandmother now is good for my pockets, but it's not good for my ego. And I'm in the music industry, you know. I engineer, I produce, rapping, that's what got me into this. And I work with a lot of North Carolina artists that sound different, which makes me think, does North Carolina even have a sound? New York has a sound, it's the birthplace. Atlanta, it definitely has a sound. In California, that's classic. Classic. But what about the Carolinas? We have legends for sure. But do we have a sound? And I'm the man for the job. Yeah, me. See, as I'm on this journey of my life, music coincides with it. And I'm gonna ask everybody. I'm gonna ask colleagues, I'm gonna ask natives, scholars, and what better place to start than North Carolina's biggest hip hop festival? Where are you from, bro?
Ottawa, Canada.
Iowa?
14 hours north from here.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's a trip.
That's a trip, bro.
All right, bro. Does North Carolina hip hop have a sound? And what do you think it is?
I mean, I don't know North Carolina hip hop that much, but I'm gonna say, J.Cole's the sound, bro. Dreamville's the sound. We out here, you know what I mean?
If you from Carolina, make some motherfucking noise, bro. Raleigh, yeah, y'all city, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all for having us and shit. We appreciate that. Durham in this motherfucker somewhere. Charlotte in this motherfucker somewhere. G-Girl in this motherfucker somewhere. If you came from out of town, out of state, make some motherfucking noise. It's crazy. It's crazy. Alright, so we gotta show y'all really what's up. If you from Carolina, we gotta really show them where we from.
North Carolina have a sound.
Hell no. They don't need one. They don't need one. Everybody individually themselves. And that's what we need. We need individuals. Hell no, we ain't got no sound. We don't need no sound. That's why we are who we are.
So many options. Tell me who you with. Y'all make some noise for my nigga Lou in this motherfucker, man. Charlotte, hold on, Lou. Charlotte in this motherfucker.
What's the sound of North Carolina?
So many sounds, I can't pick out now.
Hey. First of all, I haven't been to North Carolina in a very long time, so I appreciate you. And out of respect for each and every one of y'all, and out of respect for my brother who I've been doing this with for a long time, I'd like to take it all the way back to the beginning.
Birth of hip hop.
Yeah, you can even grab your foot if you want, but look at me, look at us. Perfect.
This is the first 808 machine right here, man. Does North Carolina hip hop have a sound?
I think it do. I call it the Middle East. You know what I mean? This is like this is a place of all of the hybrids. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm originally from New York. I got some homies that's from Detroit. Some homies that just came up here from Atlanta. So this is like the place where everybody's kind of mixtured together. That's how I look at North Carolina now. This is like the place of the transplant. Like I said, it's the Middle East, man.
What do super producers Just Blaze, Ninth Wonder, Static Selector, and The Alchemist have in common? They all buy vinyl records from North Carolina's own Gene Brown. See, Gene Brown is a charlatan, and not only does he sell records to sample to your favorite producer, but he also puts together legendary beat battles starring your favorite producers. While in Raleigh, he had an event, Bink versus Knots. I had to stop by because I know the people there have the answer. I know it.
Wasn't supposed to survive the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, but here we are, children of a culture, of a sound, of a voice, of a purpose, giving it to the entire world. So, if you come from a background that is not America, from anywhere else on the planet, but hip-hop brought you here, thank you so much for listening and following your heart. If you love hip-hop like I love hip-hop and grew up on that shit heavy, make some noise! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
What? Does North Carolina have a sound? We got like Nina Simone, we got jazz coming out of here, we got gospel coming out of here. Of course we got hip hop coming out of here. I-85 is a corridor from Charlotte all the way up to Raleigh North, right? So between that corridor, you got Greensboro, Winston-Salem, where some of the greatest have come out. HBCUs, producers, rappers, singers. Does North Carolina have a sound? Hell yeah. It's funky, it's hip-hop, it's dope, it's heartfelt, right? It is a story, it is a song, it is from the soul. If anything, we got soul. And that is the sound of North Carolina.
Look, don't worry about anything they told you. Remember what she said about winter and what the cold do. Everything's a season and some things you gotta go through. Believe me, I done seen it all. You're young talking to old you. When haters come around, look them down, tell them we don't owe you. You gonna lose some friends, but those circles are better than the ovals.
Staying true. The true North Carolina sound is staying true to the culture of hip hop. That's what I think it is, because North Carolina was definitely influenced from the sounds of the 90s boom bap, New York 90s boom bap. And that's really, you know, I guess because we're so close to New York, that's really embedded in our soul, man. But you know, you got guys like the Baby that's doing the mainstream, which is dope, because you can tell with Baby's lyrics that he's influenced by hip hop. You know what I mean? So I think, is being North Carolinians, we just love the hip hop culture, and we just try to keep it, stay true to it. That's what I think our sound is. And it's gonna be somebody, my man Crisis, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody from the NC that's gonna bring it all the way back.
Does North Carolina have the sound? A lot of it started with the Justice League. You start there, and then you can expand from there.
Thank you, Raleigh, for all the great insight. This really has lit a fire for me to learn more. I wonder what they have to say at the collegiate level. So next stop is Greensboro to go to A&T. I must speak with Professor Van Hall. You know, his expertise is in black aesthetics and the phenomenology of spirit. Let's go.
It's so diverse here in North Carolina, right? The nature of our artists, if you will. And so, for example, I looked at the radical extremes from one of the current icons, the Baby, to say Rhapsody, right? That's a very broad spectrum in my mind. And somewhere connected to those aesthetic threads, we have J.Cole. We might look at De Niro
Farrar?
Yeah, Farrar. Thank you. Very, very, very disparate, very diverse. But what is consistent is their ability to create these narratives that speak to the social and political context in which they have experienced. They are very, very true to the essence of the Black aesthetic writ large, whether it's in um, prose, poetry, spoken word, visual arts. Um, all of it comes out of a need or a will to express themselves, right? Why we have such a wide range here in Carolina. I do think there's some hip hop artists who tend to be over the top with explicitness and salaciousness, but that makes money, you know? And so on that end, I sort of understand that rationale, but then you're forgetting that the culture, though we're not a monolith, there are important things we need to discuss. And, you know, if we look at the very beginning of what rap was doing and about, that there was some cultural and social and definitely political commentary, right? And so, although I appreciate our artists' ability to speak about their lived experience from that, you know, in which they live, right? Juxtaposed to other artists, it seems like the decision to really dwell on a certain part of the community, right? Everybody can't relate to what I call the gangster aesthetic, if you will. Not everybody, and surely you can hopefully look at a broader narrative that could include the rest of the Black American community. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you before I move on about this phenomena called North Carolina hip hop, in your mind, in your search for this sound, once we've identified the sound, then what?
Professor Hard, you really just gave me a lot of gems. Thank you. This has really enlivened me to go back to my hometown of Charlotte and ask my peers what they think. So we're gonna go to some shows, we're gonna hit the studio, and we're gonna get the opinion of the city. Let's go. The question is, does North Carolina have a sound?
I think that we are a blank canvas and we're defining our sound.
Bet.
I feel like Charlotte is a melting pot. There's a lot of people here who's not from here. So
but it's a lot of people who are born and raised here.
And there's a lot of people who are from here, born and raised, and they're doing their thing.
That's a fact.
But I feel like it's a melting pot, bro. There's so many people moving here. They just bringing their sound.
That's the divinity around the ones who got it. How great the runner be, but can't fight the axe. If I left, would they remember me? Drip on this bitch like the river of Tennessee.
Carolina have a sound.
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that we have something to say. It's like something here. But no, because sonically it's a lot of like eclectic things going on, like
Do I turn you or was you do I turn you
Now hold on, shorty, let me call back. I'm on her mind like a hell no, North Carolina can even spell sounding. I would say the sound is creative. The sound is creative.
I do think North Carolina has a sound. I think it's a soulful sound. I think it's rich. It reminds me of my grandmother's cooking.
You know, North Carolina is so broad and in that so many aspects that you can't just call it to one sound. But
I feel like you're starting to know all these people from North Carolina. And one thing I feel like everybody has in their sound, no matter how different it is the Southern hospitality and the country of what North Carolina brings.
Yeah, I definitely think North Carolina has a sound. I think it's very bass driven. I think we love and gravitate towards soul, whether that's a sample or just an element of that music. And I also just think the message kind of got to strike a certain chord of like reality. You know what I'm saying? Almost painting the picture of our surroundings.
I think we don't have a singular sound. I don't think it's just one sound. But I do think that the music and the hip hop that come out of North Carolina is all a reflection of soul. So I think there's an authenticity that makes us feel like, or make people feel like music that comes from North Carolina is real and it reflects people's real life.
I would say North Carolina hip hop like exists under a lot of different aesthetics because culturally we not as isolated as some of the cities that might got like a more strict definition of the aesthetic. Like Houston hip hop is slow, or New York hip hop has a reputation it has. LA hip hop has a reputation it has. New Orleans, Louisiana, Florida, these places that got like a real distinct sound, I feel like is because their culture is very distant from like the culturally significant movements at the time. But because our influences as a city are mixed up and just the Great Migration intermixed a lot of black people from different places.
Safe and Sound 704. See, this is the studio I work at. This is the studio I engineer, produce, and bring my clientele to.
And right now, at my youth standpoint, nah, because we too much of a boiling pot. Everybody swear they want to get out of North Carolina. They don't really mess with us.
North Carolina has a lot of sounds. I do think there's a lot of artists in the Carolinas that stay true to their roots, especially the ones that are from here. So, you have Charlotte artists like Luke, who's going to sound a little bit different from somebody like Elevator J, even though they're from roughly the same area.
For real, other gang, you know what it is. This Dump Teasy, Dump Truck, Country Mafia Click CMC, a.k.a. Boss Dog of the City, you know what I'm saying? North Charlotte's finest. P-Funk, bottom of the hill, New South music, yeah, Dump Teasy.
Yeah, Siggy Jones, Siggy motherfucker Jones. East side all day long.
Yeah.
Charlotte, you know what I mean? That's how we do. Hey, New South Music Group, CMC, Country Mafia Click.
Lesson number 1. Do you know what crack does? Did you give it a thought? Do you know what can happen if you ever get caught? They will put you in prison, throw away the key, and you will be a jailbird instead of being free.
What's up?
Does North Carolina hip hop have a sound? What you guys think?
So definitely, I feel like we have a sound, and because we're in the Bible Belt, it's going to be soulful. The sound got to be churchy, soulful. Really speaking this Carolina perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a renaissance going on right now in Carolina where everybody trying to, step out. So to me, the sound is that dirt, and you're going to hear the struggle. But again, we got so many flavors, so it's kind of hard to like narrow it down, but the sound is definitely soul and church and dirt and city all at the same time.
Everybody got where they from. You know, when we hear somebody else's music, they always talk about where they from and what they got and they lingo and all that, and we follow them. Like up north. Son, what's up, son? Done. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, when you talk about Louisiana, certain shit, so it's gonna be the lingo when you hear somebody hollering for real. You know, so a lot of country,
like for real,
other game, yeah.
Other game.
And
you might not even talk like goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Goddamn, you might hear it there. You feel me? Kenny Lennon, like it's in the lingo. You feel me? This Carolina shit, you know, your uncle, your granddaddy. You feel me? Like
it's that. When you hear that, when you hear that, that's that Carolina sound. No matter what beat it's on, no matter what side, no matter where it's at.
I feel like North Carolina, it's very soulful at its roots. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the older generations and how it started out here, just being out here growing up, being around the different artists that was out here. Everybody was like a lot more lyrical, a lot more hip hop driven, but it still is a melting pot. Like Charlotte itself is a melting pot for so many other cities. So we got influences from all over the place.
Had a little vision while I'm living, could turn into a mission innocent to know it was all good just a week ago, but it could be that good even better. Oh, remember what we do is for us to know.
I think North Carolina could have a sound, but I do think that it hasn't been decided yet.
Carolina have a sound? What y'all think?
No, North Carolina don't got a sound, but I feel like the individuals here own their own sounds.
I think yes, and the reason I say yes is because the sound here is gumbo. It's a bunch of shit you can't identify.
And now we transferring energy. This shit right here is slicker than Billy D. I wish that these niggas would ever think to injure me. It's me and 49 steppers, we like a centipede. Big dog. And we get low in high places. We only use rosé for libations. We pay attention to the vibrations. We only want a green hue on them white faces.
Yes, sir. I got you, piece like this. Yeah. Diamonds black as the MEAC. You'll never see V-Lag. Ballin' like it's E-Lag. Big green like a sleeve stack. Chill. You don't need a carousel for the spot to be full of baggage. The trap house is one story, but it's full of addicts. Tryna cop a rape, the ceiling gon' be full of Patricks. Produce in my possession, the trunk is full of packs. Guaranteed to be the best rapper. You bought for 1 year, so live your life and then after. Rap God can go verse for verse with the best pastors. I need to know, man, who really vote for best rapper?
Does North Carolina have a sound?
Nah, they don't. Closest thing to it, if you want to try to find one, might be Elevator J. But me, I'm all around the board. I'm international.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Carolina, we in the South. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to come to the South and take advantage of everything from the cost of living. You know what I'm saying? To them grits. You know, them girls raised in the South. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like the South right now. You know what I'm saying? They want to be Southern so bad, want to be country so bad. And when you got that, you got everybody from different sides of the country, of the planet. Everybody want to come down here. So you know what? At the end of the day, you got the Southern sound, but at the end of the day, you got a melt pot. And that's what we've been known for as the gateway to the South, coming in. You know what I'm saying? Cause it ain't the deep South, but it's the gateway, it's the front door to the South. So at the front door, you got a lot of people. And you know, we gotta embrace that and you know, show everybody love, cause that's what we known for doing, man. We known for bringing everybody in, fixing them a high plate of food, make sure they good. That's what we're gonna do, man. Shout out to the South, bro. Y'all know how we get down.
Ever since Professor Hall asked me that question,
once we've identified the sound, then what?
I've been thinking deeply about it. And the only thing that comes to me is to inform the next generation so we can keep this culture going. I teamed up with Harvey B. Gantt to host an after-school program for middle school students, and give them an intro to music production to do just that. Push the culture forward. North Carolina's sound has taken me on an amazing journey and brought me back to where my family is from, Hickory, North Carolina. As I'm here, I reflect on the responses I've gotten and I realize North Carolina doesn't make one harmonious sound. We all have our own sounds, which means we're making noise. Yeah, Carolina noise. As of my aspirations, I also realize I'm living the life I desire. This is it. What I'm doing right now, this is success. Family, community, and creation.
Happy New Year, happy Resurrection, happy Easter, happy everything.
For sure.
And when the Easter egg hunt.
The Easter egg?
Yeah, I'm thinking y'all do is put a double egg in there. And this mom.
Congratulations, Nigel.
Does North Carolina have a sound?
Yeah.
What is the sound of North Carolina? You can get in there. What?
Don't tell her that.
What's the sound?
The sound is like, you sounding my voice right now? That's the sound.
Hey, what you think? North Carolina got a sound?
No. I mean, yes.
Yes, no, yes. What is the sound?
North Carolina has a sound. James Cleveland, Shirley Caesar, different ones. North Carolina has a sound.
During my era, the sound was more go-go, reggae. Now, J.Cole.
North Carolina nigga did one of the dopest hip hop albums, you know what I'm saying? Reasonable Doubt. Most, you know, come on, that's our sound.
That's a
hey, for real. We just want to say shout out to Nigel, man. We had plenty late nights in the studio creating music. We got a project coming that was with Colorful Noise, so definitely shout out to Nigel. We damn near almost lived with Nigel for about 2 months one night. We was on third shift hard putting up night. What else? Hey, we trying to come through. We trying to come through. It's 2 in the morning. He like, well, I'm here.